Happy Friday, everybody. I'm back finally. And today we're going to do something that at least you guys tell me you all love, and that is mini assemblage. That's not the great big, necklace on the crescent or anything like that. It's on small surfaces with little itty bits of this and that. And it really makes you think. It's kind of like a puzzle. It really makes you think, and you can use crazy stuff, when you do it. So it's just your imagination. So without further ado, how about if you come over here and I'm going to show you some things I've done this week I think you're going to like. Hey guys, we're back. And I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I made this week first before we go any further. I first started out with this. Well, I had some stuff laid out, but I'll take it off. I started out with this piece. And then I decided that would make it into a centerpiece for a necklace. So I drilled it out. Let me get, where's my pointer thing? Here, I'll use this for a pointer. I drilled it out right here, and right, let me look at this, right up here. Because if you drill through here, I'm afraid that you'll just wreck the stamping. So here, here, and here. Okay. Now you can do this with a hole punch. If you ding it first, like if you go back and look at the hole punch video, you'll see how I did that. If you ding it first, you can use a hole punch and you could get through this. I still like my drill press better. Or if you have a Dremel, you can use like a drill press and go for that too. That's better. But I didn't get a chance to get this drilled out yet, so I'll just show you. It's on this piece, and it's been drilled. And you can see the things that I've used here are just, like whatever there was. I had this nice vintage button, which I distressed to reveal a little bit of the brass underneath. I put one of these cute little compasses that we've carried for like ever on our website. I put a few little pearls in there. I put a little chaton. I put a little flying fly, or bee. I guess it's a bee, not a fly. I'm sorry. I put a little piece of old French stamping in here. Here's another piece of old French stamping. It's just all kind of stuff. The more you look, the more you see stuff. This is a watch part, and I put pearls and little stones inside. So, it's just, you work it like a puzzle. You start out and you might have some kind of idea of like what you want to go and the flow of it and all that, but until it's done, you just never know what's going to fit and look right. So it's kind of like a little, it's discovery is what it is. It's discovering what works, and the more you do it, the easier it gets. Because this might look really simple, and once you know what you want to do with it, it's not rocket science, but it's always not, it's not also not as easy as you think. Because with assemblage, a lot of people take the idea that, oh well, I'll just go out in the flea market and I'll buy a big bag of tchotchkes and I'll come home, bust it up, and I'll make stuff. Which you can. You can make some cool stuff like that. But assemblage is not about just taking all kinds of pieces, layering them, just glue them randomly on top of each other. There's nothing random about this. And that's the art of it, because it looks random, but it's not. It was very carefully put together. And we did this last week in our Sunday afternoon meetup on Facebook, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Okay, so I also made on that session at Facebook, I made this piece. Let me hold it up because it doesn't want to lay right. And it is made from the beautiful rectangular mount that we have for the Bee Super 1928 line. Hard to hold it here. It looks like this, but it's only gold. It's gold. We have it in gold now. And this is the watch key fob that we sell on the site. We sell a lot of them. But anyway, what I did to fill this area is I had a really pretty old shell button that had a pattern to it. So I decided I would stick it in the side here. And then I had a little piece of busted bling, like I like to call it. This little piece of broken jewelry. That's where your flea market stuff could come in handy for you. And then I took this binding and I cut it in half. And I put one going up this way and I bent it a little bit. And then one coming over this way. And another little flower, glued it in. And all this lacks now is the chain, because this is going to be a necklace. That is going to be my necklace, which I will own because I like it. I like gold. So it came out pretty good, I thought. So I'm holding it kind of funky. There, maybe you can see it better that way. See, it has the pearl on both sides. There's a 10 by 8 bezel on both sides of this that you can use. Okay, I hope I'm loud enough for them. Kind of talking soft. Another piece that we made, we actually made two of them. It's built on this piece from Beast of 1928, and it's a 25 by 18 oval bezel with 2 connecting holes on it. We have tons of them at the site. And it's got just enough of a bezel that you can build into it really nicely. So what I did is I started with putting this little heart off to the side, and then under it, let's see if there's a shim, because a lot of times there's a little button under it for a shim to make it stick up. If you've watched my assemblage videos before, you know I like to make a lot of use of old shell buttons because they make nice shims to kind of level things out and make stuff stand up if it needs to stand up a little bit more. And then I use some rose montees. That's what this is. Rose montees are little chatons that are set down into steel or tin cups. And they're usually made for the garment industry. But I like them for assemblage. So we usually have some on our site. This type we don't right now, but maybe I'll look around and see if I can get some, because these really work good. Then I use a little, right here I use a little flower. And I use some little beads here. These are actually beads. You just have to hide the hole. Then I cut a few pieces of this old brooch that was broken and stuck them in there for some bling. And then for the bottom, I took one of our new lobster claw clasps that I love that had this heart on it, and I just hung it from the bottom and put a couple caged pearls. And as you can see, there is still a hole up top here, so that you could put a bail and then put a chain on it, so it could be a nice necklace. And the same thing with this, pretty much the same principle, except down here I had a piece of old stampings that was like a sorority key style, and I decided to hang that and put a key on top of it. And then I put one of our little sprocket findings on here. I don't know if you can see this. These are so cool. Here's one loose. We just got these back on the site, and they are so cool. I don't know if you can zoom in on that or not, Heavy, but if you can't, it's okay.
That's all I can do.
Okay. Well, anyway, this is a really cool. You can use it as a spacer, or you can, as you can see here, I've strung it right onto this jump to add a little bit more to the design by putting this here. I love doing that. You can hang it from jump rings too and make earrings out of it. Really cool industrial type earrings. You can also use it for a little element to set down in your assemblage if you want it. That's not where I put it, but you can see it. Then I would put a little pearl or chaton in there. But anyway, these are really neat. We got them on the site, and we have them in silverware, rusted iron, and brass ox. They just came in the other day. So guess what Javi was doing all week? She was counting them and putting them in bags. Besides all the other stuff she does, which is a lot of stuff. So these are two cute ones that I have to put chain on. This one I did get a chain on. And in fact, I was wearing it at the very first part of the video. I don't know if I'm going to leave this chain on it, though. Somehow, when I was doing this up in my office, the colors appealed to me on this, but they're, I don't know if exactly what I want. You know, sometimes when you make a beaded chain like this that you haven't put on like in the regular way done on string, it's really easy to take sections apart and add something or remove something. You could take this off and put on something else and put something else entirely on here. Like I had thought at first maybe I would put just this chain, which is some vintage chain. And that would be good too, but I just wanted a little bit more going on. You know, I like to work my necklines. So if you got the newsletter, you might have read about that this morning. We have a newsletter that comes out several times a week with all kinds of ideas and to tell you what's new coming in and all that. But I don't know. I put sections of it in here. But I'll see. We're talking about mini assemblage now, so we'll do the gypsy bead and stuff later, another time. So I guess the only thing to do would be to endeavor to put something together in front of you. And I don't really have this planned, so you know what? I was going to have it all planned out. We're going to put this, like that, and go together fast. But you know, the more I thought about it, the more I thought that doesn't really show them how it is. And you guys know that a lot of times in my videos I make mistakes and I use them as teaching tools and mistakes. I don't make them on purpose, I just make mistakes. We all do. So I cut that piece in half. I think I'll use that in my little mini assemblage. Now I use this one a lot in the others. I like it. I like it to kind of put it off to the side. I like that look. But I've already made two like that. So I don't know. Maybe I'll go for something else. So let's see what all I have here. You know what? Let me bring my stuff in here. Show you what I'm working with. This might be very helpful to you to see what I'm working with. Okay, it's just all kinds of little bitty stuff. Like I've got this swirl here. I love these swirls. They really add something. In fact, I may use that in this one. Here's a little piece of broken bling that I cut off of this brooch. So I might use that in here somewhere. And then what else do I have in here? I have a bunch of little French stampings. I love this one, but I don't see quite how to incorporate it and make it look right in here without cutting it. And I don't think I want to cut it. So I may save that for another project. I also have this little butterfly, which might be cute for an accent. I've got this piece. Now when you find a filigree that you can cut a little bit, it's really great for mini assemblage. I used this as part of another project. And so this piece was left. So I might take it and use it in here somehow. I like things to look unique and unplanned, although they're quite planned or organized or worked or however you want to say it. So I might do something like that. But now, if I do this, we've got a lot of space in here. I think they call that negative space. We've got a lot of space in here we have to fill. I'm going to do that and make it look right. I like the contrast of the old brass with the gingerbread. I'm liking that. So what to do? I think I'll take these out and let's see if this fits in here. It does. Okay, so that would give, this button would give some stability to the piece. But I might have to cut a little bit more of this off. Now when you do this, you have to remember where you're going to hang from. This will probably be, well, yeah, I'm planning for it to be a pendant. So, you know, be very aware you don't go up too far or whatever you use. Like if you use this one as drilled out, you don't want to go up over your drill holes. Or if you do, leave enough space you can get a jump ring in. Same way with this. I was going to show you this. This piece works real good too. We've done this one in our videos lots of times. This is a great one for this. And I have it drilled this way to make a pendant under that. So now, getting back to this. So I've got this shim in here. Now this will also serve as a way to fill a little bit of negative space. So we don't have a lot of the back of the mount showing. There we go. best to put it over top of it maybe. Now you can glue this stuff as you go if you want. You know, you don't have to just plan it all out and then go back and glue it. I'm doing it this way for teaching purposes. If I do this on my own, I would probably be gluing away by now. But anyway, so then I put my little swirl thing on there. I love these. Okay, so I have that there. And then take my little bling thing and put on there. I have, if I go with this look, I have a lot of movement there. Because see, it goes around like this. It's movement. But then my one issue is, what will I put in the middle that doesn't make it look clumsy? We don't want that. So I have to think, what do I have to work with? Well, let's see if this works. Let's try this. I like to take these and bend them just a little bit. Gives them more dimension. So layer that over top of that. That is lovely. In fact, if I did that, I might not need to do any more except set a few little stones. Let's try it. Let's just try it. Okay, I've got my E6000. That's what I use. If you have something else that you like to use, you know, use it. Just make sure it's not hot glue. I think most people know by now you don't use hot glue. Back in the beginning when I first started doing this, people didn't know not to use hot glue, and they had a lot of disappointments. It seemed like an easy way because it was easier to manage, but it was not a good thing to use. Hot glue expands and contracts with heat and cold, and so that's what will pop things off of your design. I got a little more glue in there than I would have wanted, so I'll take my handy toothpicks, which I always keep around. They're so cheap, there's no reason not to keep them around, huh? I'll take care of that later. All right, so now I want to put this one here. But I remember we said we were going to overlap it a little. Now this is a little bit tricky because we don't want to get too much glue in there, but we got to get enough to make it hold. And I don't want it seeping through all those cracks. So I have to think about where might I be putting other things on top of it so that I don't end up with that situation. So I'm going to go very lightly, and it'll be okay not to get too much on it because we'll probably have things over top of it anyway. I'm going to go through the middle here and hope for the best. And of course, I'm working on top of a piece of poster board, so when you're gluing on top of that, you got to be careful you don't end up sticking something too, because then you'll have to peel paper off, and that's not fun. Peeling paper. I cannot believe how much cat hair I have on me. You think I never clean. That Millie, she sheds. You guys have a cat? People are cat people or not. You know, they love them or they don't. Javi has a cat. She's teaching him to sing.
Yep.
She sings this little song where she has to stop, and he's supposed to say meow where she stops. And you know, he has 3 songs now he'll do. we'll have to make a YouTube of that. It'll go viral.
Yeah, probably will.
His name is Super Meow. That's a unique. Oh, it stuck to me. That's a unique name. Oh, and you know, when you use these 6000, once again, I always say this, but if you use it, you know, keep it off your hands the best you can. I'll have to clean up afterwards real good. Keep it off your hands the best you can. And don't eat while you're using it, please. Okay, so what would be maybe another thing I could do to help? I don't want to lose the detail here, but if I put something on top of that there that works, it might help to secure the filigree too, because I really can't use a lot of glue on that. So what might that be? I wonder what this looks like if I did this. Ew. But then I would have to fill this space, and I'm not sure what I would fill it with. It looks good. Let's try it this way. Alrighty, I like that. But see now, if I take this and put this on here, it just obscures the whole design. And I think it's going to get to looking like too much of a glob. That's the thing you have to watch out for when you do your stuff. Like, for example, this. There's a lot of stuff on there, but it doesn't look like a glob. There's definition here. You can see each part. You don't just look and say, oh, there's just a glob there. You know, you want to have definition. Same way with this. There's a lot of stuff on there, but it's not just a glob. It kind of tells a story in a way if you think about it. In its own way. I have to think about that story. So, what's next? I just had a thought and it went. My friend Annie used to always say, se me fue un hilo. Have you ever heard that expression? Se me fue un hilo?
Yeah.
It's like you had a string tied around your finger and it fell off, basically.
Or like it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yes. I didn't know if they use that expression in Chile or not. Se me fue un hilo. Okay, so I like this. Me likey. The reason me likey is because you have movement, and yet it's not obscuring all this beautiful detail. But you can see the gingerbread to the bottom. Is that such a bad thing? No. But maybe I'd prefer not to see that. So what can I do about that? What can I do about that? What about sewing snaps? Yeah, sewing snaps are awesome. They work out really good in this stuff. But I don't know if I want that on there. I do want this if I can make it work. Hey, maybe going the other way. What do you think? But then if I put that, this won't work on there. Unless I go this way. Which I could. I just have to be careful that I don't obscure any hanging holes that I might want to use. You know what? Something just occurred to me. I may have to kind of start over a little bit or go from the other end, because this hole here, I like to dangle something from that. And I had planned to take and use this little hand thing. Maybe have it holding some keys or something, but if I put it the other way, I'm not going to be able to do that. I won't have the right hole. So you can hang through it right here and right here, or right here and right here to make your necklace, or right here and right here. So let's see what happens going from this angle. Okay, from this angle, I can definitely put that there. From this angle, I can definitely make use of this. And you know what? All I'll have after this, I think, is a little bit of fill. And I'll have it. I think I'll have it. No, maybe some little thing in here. Some little tiny thing in here. Wish I had an itty bitty baby button. That would be so perfect, but I don't. Itty bitty baby button. What if I did this? No, you won't be able to see it. Maybe. No. I don't like that either. I love these little stampings when you cut them up. They're so malleable. They really work out good. What if I... I went like this. I put that in there. And then skip the swirly thing. What do you like? She's poking at something. I think Javi's starting to get interested in this a little bit. She's been filming me doing it a lot. Oh, speaking of which, we're doing something new now, and it's something you can come and join us for if you'd like. We are getting together every Sunday afternoon at 3:30 p.m. EST, Ohio time, for Facebook Live, and I'm on live for about an hour, hour and 10 minutes maybe. And I always have a little project, but we talk the whole time, and you guys can comment. I think they have something like that on YouTube now too, but I'm used to the Facebook format, so for now that's what I'm doing. And it's on my Brenda Sue Lansdowne page. I'll put it in the comments of this video. And you can come, and you don't have to talk, you don't have to say anything, you just hang out and watch us if you want. But it's fun. Oh, we had such a blast last week. We had people on there just didn't matter that the holiday was coming. They were happy to take a break. And we had so much fun. Oh my goodness. Hey, what if I put a bee in there? But now you can't see this. See, this is what I'm saying. You can get stuff to looking like a glob really easy. I'm going to go ahead and glue this in, though. I'm pretty sure I want that there.
You could always put the butterfly wherever it went.
We did have a little butterfly, didn't we?
Oh, it's right there.
Yeah, this little butterfly. She's talking about this. So you want to go through your stuff if you're going to do this and find little things. Itty bits. It's all right to be itty bitty. I was looking at my YouTubes, and I can see a lot of them really need to be redone. So if you guys have any, I like that there. That's good. If you guys have any ideas about what you'd like to see or brought up to date or whatever, just let me know. Anything but polymer clay. Javi's good at clay, though. But I just, I'm not a clay teacher, and it's not like it's rocket science either. But sometimes people get kind of funny about clay. They want you to do everything just exactly this way or that way, and I don't do anything just exactly this way or that way. I'm a total outside-the-box thinker. That's good. I'm a total outside-the-box thinker, and I like it that way. And maybe many of you are as well. So, you know, if something is a bad idea and it's going to interfere with the structure of a piece, then of course we don't want to do it. But if it's not going to interfere with the structure of the piece, then what's the difference? You know, you want to condition your clay properly, you want to do, you know, all that, and roll it out right and all that, but after that it's like, do what you want. But sometimes when I've put polymer clay videos up in the past, I had to remove a lot of comments because people weren't nice, because they get upset because you're using their beloved medium and you're not using it the way they think you should. That's not what this channel is about. This channel is about using things in different ways. Doing a good, neat job, like I'm trying to neatly put my glue on here. I mean, somebody said years ago, you know, that this is what we're going to do for jewelry making. I don't know. I don't know. It might have been frowned upon. But there was some jewelry making done like this. It was a little bit more planned, and it was more beading. That's not glued down good enough. But like Miriam Haskell jewelry, which you've talked about on here a lot of times, it looks quite random. It's not. There's nothing random about that. But you use the same type of thinking when you do cage work beading that you use with assemblage, because it is another form of assemblage, and that was very popular back in the day. Still is. People pay big, big money for that stuff. Did I put glue on that? Yeah, I did. I can't remember. I'm losing my memory. I'm going to leave that there. So now I'm going to have to put something in here, some little thing, but I'm not sure what yet. And I guess I'm going to abandon the idea of using that this time, but I'll use it another time. So right now, I need to find the right kind of little tchotchkes to stick in here. And what might that be? Now, I would normally, probably use a little flower or something, but I'm not sure. No, I don't want to do that. See, he doesn't fit in there too good, but it would be great if I could put him in there, because people love stuff like that. Some little unexpected thing. They love it when you use that, when you make your jewelry. Let's see if the button will do it. Well, I could. Yeah, I could. And it's okay if it sticks up a little bit like that. It just kind of looks like, for me sometimes when I would do a big assemblage, I would try my hardest to make it look like somebody just threw a bunch of jewelry down into a box. But you could still see all the parts of the jewelry. It was like, I want my assemblage to look like that. Just kind of like, it's random, as that would be, but it's not random. Does that make any sense? Javi's going, I don't know. I'm trying to make this light ring not fall over.
Literally.
Yeah, we're having a hard time. See, somebody gave us this lovely, lovely light ring. And I use it all the time for when I'm doing my beading work upstairs. Oh, I love it for that. Oh, it's great. It's the best light ever. But we like to use it for video. In fact, most of the people use it for video. And we just have a hard time getting it to not fall over and stuff. Okay, that's good in there. Now this is a bead though. And something I want to tell you about using beads. You can do them all you want, but be sure you hide the hole. So I've got a hole here and a hole on the other side. I want to make sure that the hole is not visible. Now it might be visible when I put it here. Okay, we had to chop, guys, because what happened is life happened. Rob decided to call Javi, and she thought she had it on do not disturb, but it messed it up because she uses her phone to do this.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. But anyway, just to reiterate what I did, I don't even know what I was yakking about when it went out, so I'm just not going to go back there because I don't want to repeat myself. But basically, I have a little button here. I have a bigger button here. I used one of these pearl caps to go over here. We have these on the site. I used one of these little flowers that I cut earlier on, and I bent it and put it up here. Now I'm applying a few little flat backs. I took another piece of it and cut it and stuck it right in there. And of course I have my broken jewelry right here, my broken busted bling. Okay, so now I'm going to finish putting my flat back rhinestones. I'm going to have a little bit of cleanup there. I got a glue gob. See, this was tough when you work small because when you're working bigger, it's more forgiving in a way because you can, you know, use more glue and not worry about it. This, you got to really get it in there. I'll hide that though. I'll show you in a minute my trick. Okay, so let me get back to applying these because I got a couple more to go, and we'll move on. See, this is what happens when you do it this way. See that? See what happens? It just went down in there. So now that one's wrecked. Okay, let's go to another one. Yeah, this is where the pick-me-up tool would be much better. There's a new tool, and it's called Pickup Artist. And it is made a lot like the Crystal Katana, which I much prefer. However, Crystal Katana is way more expensive than I think it should be. I know a lot of people have spent for one. I have two of them, so I'm one of them. But most people don't want to spend $28, $30 for a stick with a bit of dop wax on the end. You know, even though it is great. So what else is there? Well, another company came out with something else. And I won't say it's quite as good, but it's almost as good. And you can just spend so much less money. Last Sunday when we did our hangout, we talked about it and I showed it. And we have kits with it. And if you look on the website under Bisou bundles, you'll see them. So I put a little one in there because I kind of had a crack. And here I've got a glue gob. So I need to put something in there. So I'm going to see if this is what I want to do. First I'm going to try to get as much of that glue off as I can. Okay. So I'm telling you all the things that can happen along the way, which is good. And that's what I was commenting about, you know, the short videos that a lot of companies have. They're very good. They're very informative. I look at them too sometimes when I need a refresher about something and not sure. But I find that, not being critical, but I find that so many of them are so planned and they leave a lot of information out. Like what happens if this happens. And now I'm doing little pearls, which again I would rather do with the pickup artist. Yeah. So I just stuck one in there. See, now that's covered. I don't have to worry about that. And I need a couple down in here, and I need a couple right up along here. So I'm going to go ahead and set them. And then I'm probably going to call this done for now. Now what I'll do is when I get it finished, I will go ahead and leave it set for a while. And I won't make it into anything right away. I'll just kind of ruminate about it. And then that way, I'll see if maybe I want to take something off of it. Maybe I don't like it. With these 6,000, you've got a little bit of time. You can take stuff off. Or maybe I'll add something to it. Like it's not, that's what happens. I'd add something to it. So I've got one more to do. Alright, I like that. For now, I like that. I think I want a little bit of pearl in here too. So I'll put a little bit of pearl in there. And then, you know, like by stepping back too, I'll see if I have the form right. You don't have to make everything all perfect circle, perfect rectangle, this and that and all that. But you don't want to get like too much on one side or too much, not enough on the other, or you know, a glob. See, I just got glue. I love these tweezers too. Carry them at the site. I think these are the German ones.
Yeah, we carried those up the site.
Yeah, we used to have the heron. I don't know, these might be from Pakistan. I might have to look at my verbiage on the site. Anyway, they work great. They work great. A lot of tools come from Pakistan. And they're fine. Although the German tools do seem to have a little bit more precision, I think. That's my opinion. But I don't like to spend a lot of money on tools because you misplace them, you lose them, and you know, unless you're doing some kind of really specific type thing that you've got to have fantastic tools for, or hand problems or whatever. And I wouldn't say buy cheapo tools like you find in Joann Fabrics or Hobby Lobby. Don't buy those guys. They're just not worth it. But if you just step it up and pay a little bit more, you can usually get something pretty good. Okay, I'm going to stick a pearl or two in here for balance, and then I'm going to quit.
They can't see that.
Oh, they can't see it? Okay, thank you, Javi. There, can you see that now? Nope. I can't see. This is why it's good the iPad's there. Boy, we're screwing this one up. It's almost as bad as my old videos. That was I wanted to make a new one that was more polished. I don't know if we succeeded with that, but maybe you're having a good time with this, and that's worth something too, right? Okay, go ahead, Javi. Push it where it needs to be. Push it where it needs to be. We're fine with that. Come on here, don't do that. Okay, good. I want to put it like right in here. Now, I'm not sure. I might, well, I'll go ahead and put one more. I see one place I'm going to put it. But you see, you just work it like a puzzle. You want to get flow. You want it to look like it's kind of casually done, but it's not. Don't want it to be too formal. Put one more there. I love this finding, and I did not bring down any of my SKU numbers, so Javi, when you do the video, we're going to need you to look them up, like this one, and this one, and this one.
Yep.
She's very good at that. Okay, so let me hold up. Does it help to hold it up? I don't know. Maybe not. So, looking at this, I think that it has pretty good balance. I might find a few more cracks, like right here. See this? You see this, guys? I don't like too much space. So yeah, I'm going to go fill this later. I'm going to put a couple little pearls in here. Let me look the other side. I'm pretty good on this side. And these are the no-hole pearls too, you know. the little tiny pearls, it's just too hard to work with them and to hide the hole. So it's better to spend a little bit more and get no hole pearls, like they use in good costume jewelry. See, I'm gonna hold this up. See if I can get it in there. Yep, there it goes. Slides right in. Now I don't have crack. Crackless no more. Okay, I need a couple more of these. Alright, here I'm back. Get back in the... Never quite sure where I'm supposed to be on here. But anyway, yeah, you know, you should come on over to Facebook on Sundays, as we are having such a ball. And people ask questions, and they also give advice too, because, you know, I don't know everything. So they might give some tips on what they found works. So that's always good. Okay, one more in there. I think we're done. I might have to take this off because there might be glue showing. Well, ain't glue showing. That's pretty good. The only thing is this kind of bothers me right here. See, this is where you can get into trouble. This right here is where you can get into trouble. This is where people do too much. So you've got a little place where you're not real satisfied, like right here. And you think, oh, I gotta fill that up. Really? What are you gonna use? I would not take more pearls there. I would not do that. Let's see if this Monty fits. Yeah, I could do that. Could probably make that look right. Or maybe I'll just do a little bit more flour in there. You know, cut it down. I think I'm going to do the Monty. If I don't like it, I could take it off. Clean it up. But remember, when you do this, be aware of where your hanging holes are and don't go over them, because then it's going to be tough. Yep. I think that works. It kind of stands up high a little bit, though. One more pearl right here. See? I'm going to get myself into trouble, maybe. We'll try it. I can always take it off. A lot of people tell me they watch these and they'll say, no, put it here. Oh, they're watching. Don't put it here, put it there. That's why the hangouts are good on Sundays, because they can tell you right there, I would do this, or I would do that, or try it this way. No, I don't want to put any more. I may even take that one off. I'll let it ruminate. Not ruminate. I'll let it marinate. That's the word I want. I'll let it marinate for a while, and while it's still time that I could take it off, I will perhaps do that or move something. Okay, so on this one, I've got good flow. It's going around. You see, this is moving this way, this is moving this way, this is moving down. This got movement to it too. Movement is good. I've got some little places where I see tiny little glue globs, so I'll have to be careful removing those so that it doesn't end up taking the whole piece off. See some right in here too. One of the best ways to tell, and I think I've told you this before, if you have glue gobs to deal with, is take a picture of it. Stand back, take a picture of it with your phone. It'll show you. Stuff that you missed will show on that phone. So I'm thinking that when this all sets up, that I'm going to put this here and dangle something, but I don't know. Maybe not, because this is kind of skinny for all this, you know. I've got all this stuff going on here and then nothing. So I might do something else entirely. I don't know. But anyway, come on over to the Hangout. Or whatever we call it, live session. That was Google Hangouts. It's on Facebook, my Brenda Sue Lansdowne page. It's live 3:30 p.m. EST, Ohio time. Sometimes we're a little late, but we'll show up. And we're planning to do it every Sunday. So I'll bring these out and we'll talk about them a little bit more on that day. Okay, besides some other things I want to show you. But anyway, thanks for hanging out with us, and thanks for putting up with our little glitches today. We didn't mean for that to happen, but stuff happens. You know, when you make jewelry, it happens too. So you have to deal with it. That's the way it is. So, thanks a lot, and I hope to get back together with you soon. And don't forget the live sessions that are every Sunday. We don't bring them over to YouTube at this time. So you have to come and see them over there. If you're not able to come, oh, I want to mention this too before I go. If you're not able to come at 3:30, say, oh, you forget about it or you got something else you got to do, you can come back really any time, because Facebook doesn't get rid of the video. It's on there permanently, so you can come and really watch it anytime. The only thing you can't do is comment and have me respond. So that's the one thing that's lost, but you can come see it anytime. It's right there. You just scroll for it. That's great. So, alrighty, I'll put it in the comments here too. Alright, you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you again real soon. Bye.
Bye.